What the heck is Uma Musume? Why does everyone keep posting this girl drop kicking the camera? Who's this pink-haired girl to keep drawing eating mountains of grass? What is Goo Goo Babies?
What the fuck is Google Babies, bro?
How did this anime horse girl game break the internet? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thanks. Me? Uma Musume, also known as Uma Musume Pretty Derby, is a multimedia franchise owned by Cygames that has an anime, multiple movies and mangas, and a little bitty game called Umamusume. This has absolutely exploded in popularity here in the West following the official launch in June, and most notably on Steam, where it has dwarfed other games from popular franchises such as Persona 5, The Phantom X. Screw this game. Sorry, this isn't about Phantom X. Horse girls. So, what is an Umamusume? Well, to break it down as quickly as I can, an Umamusume, or an Uma, as I will be calling it, because Uma is quicker and easier to say, and also it is horse in Japanese. It's a girl that was born with the spirit of a racehorse inside of her that makes her want to run a lot, and they're also idols, and if you don't like idols, tough shit. Think of how K-pop has been slowly breaking into the West for the better part of the last decade. Oh look, horses. It's exactly like that. Each one is named after a different famous horse, and their personal stories within the franchise closely mirror the IRL stories of the real horses. This goes a little further than just, oh, this horse won in this race and then lost in this one, but extends to injuries, rivalries, and familial relations. You can go through this later, or pause now, I'll take the session watch time, and look at this family tree of the different Umas and how each one is related. This makes watching the anime and playing through their stories in the games significantly more enjoyable. I hesitate to say that you need to know their backstories before you get into it, because, I mean, you don't, but my god does it help. I had zero intention of ever playing this game until I saw a single thread on Twitter telling Rice Shower's story. And now, it is my personal goal in life to not only make Rice Shower happy, but to protect her and let everyone know that she is a fucking hero. You might be asking now, wait, they're all girls, though. How could all these horses be entirely female? Well, they're not. Although in the anime and this whole franchise, they embody a female form. That was the weirdest way to say that. IRL, they were a mix of male and female, but people tend to prefer anime girls over anime boys, and also this stops some shipping culture and allows them to focus on rivalries and friendships, which is a core focus of the show. But to pay respect to the IRL horses, they made one small tweak to each character to denote whether they were male or female. Whichever side of the head has ear decoration, that's it. If you're looking at them and their ornaments on the left, they were male, and if it's on the right, female. However, one character does not follow this rule, that being Fine Motion. See, Fine Motion was born as a vestigial hermaphrodite. They had both sexual organs whenever they were born, however, they grew up and did everything as a mare or a female. So, going off this context info, what ear is it on? That's right. It's on both of them. Now, without spoiling any of the characters or their stories, let's go to the next question. What is an Umamusume? Umamusume Pretty Derby, the game, is a roguelike visual novel with gacha elements. Hey! Okay, actually... That's not good. Wait! Where did I actually go? It's that easy. Just hit. Just hit. It's so easy. The main game is played in the UR8 career. The way it works is that you select your trainee, which is going to be your main character, and then you select your legacies. These give a bunch of different bonuses, but whenever you start, you're not really going to have anything, so auto-select, and you can click Include Guests to get stronger ones until you build up your own by just playing the game. Finally, you select support cards. If you play other gachas, these are like equipment and weapons that give different bonuses. You're given a goal to accomplish within a set number of turns, and you use those turns to train, rest, and go sing karaoke, or you go and race 30 times if you're playing boxing. don't worry about it. You train stats based on the goals and your Uma's affinities for whatever they have, but it really just means get 300 wit and then max out speed. Unless your races are medium or long, then you throw some stamina in there. Those support cards from earlier enhance training for their listed training types and give hints for skills, lowering the cost of skills to purchase, but also they are where you're going to get a lot of your different character interactions and story beats. These skills are the reason you need wit. If your Uma is too stupid, she forgets how to run fast. I know I didn't even mention Sparks yet, but you'll see that quite a bit. You'll see a lot of people talk about it. For Sparks, good luck. And if all this sounds interesting to you, but for some reason you're like, I don't know, allergic to women, Blue Lock has the exact same thing now, so you can go do that. I might actually try it. I like Blue Lock. Now, I know I said the forbidden word, gotcha, but bear with me for a second. There's one person I know who will scream at me that it's not a gotcha, it has gotcha elements. It's a gotcha, Morgan. It's just a fair one and not bullshit like any Hoyoverse game or Persona 5 Phantom X. Not only does Cygames attempt to drown you with how many free pulls they give you, the game really doesn't rely on the gacha aspect very much to be able to play and have fun. Until Kita-san Black came out and people were resetting their entire accounts just to get all their carrots together again and roll specifically for her. Y'all are fucking stupid. I'm gonna prove it to you, okay? I am not a gaming channel, but I'm gonna show you that my words have some weight with this, and I'm gonna prove it and show you that by winning with Rice Shower. What someone might argue is the hardest Uma to win with. 2番人気成田ブライアン注目の2冠馬スタートです。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。Okay. Still recoverable. Okay, she's passing on the outside. This is actually stupid good. Okay. Last third. In solid position. She's still closing on her too. Oh? Almost taking first? Holy shit, she's in first? Holy shit, she's taking off with it! Go! Go! Yes, yes, yes. Do Blue Rose closer just for BM. Just BM. Holy shit, look how fucking fast she is. Go, go. Fuck yes. Fuck yes, that's my fucking daughter. Holy shit, I actually did it. Oh. Woo. Oh my god. I'm so proud. Oh my god, I'm so fucking proud of her. 9 length? Jesus! The first time you play, it makes you work for the ability to roll. You can play for hours without having to roll. Hell, without even feeling like you need to roll. That's not to say you can't spend life-ruining amounts of money on the game, but you're never pressured into it. Also, for the US and Western servers, they're wanting to catch up to the Japanese servers. So all Western servers are sped up on the release schedule, events are shorter, and Cygames is juicing us with rolls for when we eventually do catch up. We'll hopefully be around the same playing field with the JP servers, but this makes the game feel much faster, assuming you aren't already going at 4x speed and skipping every race to jump to the results. So that's the summary of the characters and the game. So now the anime is gonna get some screen time too, because my god, this animation, just look at this! People tend to hype up the animation, and I totally understand why, but just remember, this is what Season 1 looked like. Soak it in. The reason for this is because Season 1 was animated by PA Works, Season 2 was done by Studio Kai, and then Season 3 was animated by both of them. The movies were not. This amazing animation was done for the movie Beginning of a New Era, and it was animated by Cygames' in-house studio. They did this shit themselves, putting other companies to shame. Riot couldn't even do this with Arcane. They had to go hire Fortiche. Fortiche is amazing and did perfect work. That's not a jab at them, by the way. Cygames literally said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And it looks gorgeous. But this is what you're gonna watch when you start watching it. You have to work for this, or just start here if you're a loser. Animation aside, storytelling, phenomenal, partly because of how everything was framed, but also because of how closely they made each Uma's story and mannerisms match their IRL counterparts. The reason Goldship here drop kicks the camera or acts like a maniac, that's not just for comedic relief. The real-life Goldship was a menace. There's thousands of videos explaining his backstory, and not a single one of them is exaggerating. It also feels like there was a couple people who wrote these characters in the franchise, and real-life horse racing was their autistic special interest. The level of detail they apply here is mind-boggling. Here's an example. In the beginning of Season 2, while they're walking around and showing two of the younger Umas the campus that they attend, off to the side, you can see Air Groove over here talking to another girl that takes a picture of her with her phone. This makes the phone's flash go off and causes Air Groove to jump. This is a direct reference to the real-life Air Groove freaking out whenever lights from cameras went off during the 1995 Shuka show while she was still in the paddock. She'd lose that race, ending in 10th place, and was later found to have a small fracture, which they believed happened because of her bouncing around in the tight space of the paddock before the race started, and this led to a ban on flash photography on all Japanese race courses aside from like a handful of specific races like the Twinkle race, which takes place at night and the lighting is part of the spectacle. That level of detail is so specific and it permeates into every other frame of the franchise. Also, everything I just said might not be true, so I found that exact same like idea of like, oh, Air Groove really doesn't like flashing lights, and that the IRL Air Groove got hurt because of some lights flashing while she was in the paddock and got injured. So every wiki I saw, like I went through 3 different ones, they all say the exact same thing, and then none of them reference like an actual article. They could have all made it up. It doesn't matter, because in the actual anime, it's still true. So Psy Games canonized it. I trust Psy Games on that one. Just some other funny notes that don't exactly make Uma Musume like an amazing franchise, or they do. Depends on how much like your like enjoyment of trivia affects the media you consume. Personally, I love that. But anyways, 1. PocketTube, a YouTube channel run by Psy Games that features Goldship as the host doing a bunch of different things. It's all chaotic. And another smaller side note, Goldship's VA, Hitomi Ueda, is just mwah, it's perfect casting. If you've got 20 minutes to kill, I'd highly recommend checking them out. I'll leave a link to the channel at the top of the description. 2. Haru. IRL, she went 0 and 113. She lost every single race she ever ran in during her professional career. However, after she retired, she ran in one more race and she won! And people fucking love her. There's a link you can go to and send Haru, as well as some of the other horses that are still alive and I think at the same stable. You can send them some ryegrass. People found this out, and it got so much traffic, it immediately crashed the site. Number 3. Psy Games sends letters to lewd and Rule 34 artists asking them to remove lewd photos of the Umas. This only really happens in Japan, where the law can be most easily applied and tends to favor IP protection and copyright more than anywhere else in the world. But the reason for doing this is that these Umas are based on IRL horses, and they want to preserve the legacy of those horses without tainting them. This does not stop non-Japanese artists, however, and also doesn't help when they design certain characters like Vodka or Super Creek. Number 4, during the 66th Arima Kinnan, the JGSDF, aka the Japanese Navy, played the fanfare for the day, and during the lunch break, played the song Uma Pyoi Legend, which is one of the most iconic songs from this franchise next to Make Debut. This means their national military branch, whatever, was playing anime music. Taxpayer money to play anime idol music. That's what I want my taxes to be spent on. Number 5. Psy Games has partnered with US-based horse racing organizations. This includes being a sponsor at the 151st Kentucky Derby, as well as part of the exhibit for international racehorses at the Kentucky Horse Park. This didn't just stick to the US though, and later, France happened to spotlight the exact same exhibition. If that sounds a little weird, just know that France happens to have a soft spot for a certain maniac horse. 6. Finally, Mayano Top Gun, whose IRL horse was named after the movie of the same name starring Tom Cruise, went to a red carpet event where the nearly 40-year sequel Top Gun Maverick came out. The voice actress of Mayano Top Gun, as well as some of the other VAs, not only attended the event, but interviewed Tom Cruise. The girl who voices a horse named Top Gun interviewed Mr. Top Gun himself. In fact, referencing back to PocketTube real quick, Mayano and Goldship sang Danger Zone together. You know, that song that was synonymous with the movie Top Gun. To cap it off, there's a lot to say about Uma Musume. A lot of it has already been said by other people who are faster at making videos, but also just smarter than me. Uma Musume is amazing, and I want to be able to contribute something to the franchise, which is what this video is, but also I think I might have some ideas, because I'm the idea guy. I want to see other international racehorses. In the anime, they show Broy, who is a French racehorse that El Condor Passa goes and races against. Broy doesn't exist. That was a character just for the anime. However, in the game, and for like the Japanese servers, they have Montju, which is French. And I know I definitely butchered that name. Get a better language, but Montju is an actual French racehorse. El Condor Passa herself was an American-bred racehorse that just got brought over to Japan. That also meant that El Condor Passa could not race in certain races because they were not a Japanese-bred racehorse, but they still were able to race over there. And Silent Suzuka in the anime goes to America for a little while to race other Umas, meaning they've already said there's a bunch of other ones. I want to see them because I think the funniest thing would be a Seabiscuit collab or Secretariat. I like Secretariat, and I say that as I watched one movie when I was like a young teenager. There's so much heart behind this franchise. Heart and a giant Japanese business conglomerate that is also 5% owned by Nintendo. That has nothing to do with it. I found that information out and I didn't know where else to put it in the video. But yeah, Nintendo technically owns 5% of Uma Musume, so that's cool. But it's got heart, it's got love. Every Uma has their own story that is unique and will resonate with someone somehow. It's just a matter of whether or not you are willing to go into it and learn about these characters. I would say you should do that. So go download, play Uma Musume, download it now.